live. Make sure. So we're live right now, so just make sure everything you say is PG-13. I just want to make sure the sound is on, so.
Okay.
Yes. Also just make sure everything you say is PG-13. I just want to make sure the sound is on, so. Okay, good. So we're good to go. All right. Hello, everyone. This is Cassandra. I'm here with Rebecca. Rebecca, hello. So,
Hi.
happy Valentine's Day to everyone. We are going to be talking today about how much we love housing and the different types of diverse housing. So, Rebecca, do you want to maybe start with why this is an important topic to talk about?
Yeah, of course. So, um, we're all, not everyone is kind of knows everything about, different types of housing. And so this event is meant to be fun and for us to just show you guys pictures of what different type of housing looks like. And we'll talk a little bit about it. And it's just important so that, when you're listening in to planning commission meetings, whether it's at the city level or the county level, when you're going to city council meetings, county meetings regarding housing, and some of these things are brought up about the type of developments that they're proposing or trying to get passed, as well as when you see signs coming up in your neighborhood that have, usually they'll notice the neighborhood about what's proposed to be built in that area. So it's just kind of a way to give some information so you have some context as to what types of housing are either coming to your area or you're hearing about at these meetings.
Perfect. So I'm going to start our little slideshow, and we're going to start off with a tiny home or tiny homes. Now, these are something that I think if I was like a single person without children, that I would really love just this own little tiny space with very, very limited utilities, limited space for waste and so forth.
Yes. And they are small, and sometimes they are on a foundation, other times they are on wheels. So they look different. I don't know if we have any in Ventura County that are right now. I know that there's some that are going to be built, but I don't know if we currently have just tiny homes out there. So if we do, and you live in those cities where there's tiny homes within Ventura County, please let us know.
Next is single residence occupancy, kind of like a studio apartment. I don't know if these are, if there's like purchasable home like these. Are you familiar with anything like that?
I'm not sure if we have developments where you can purchase like single occupancy, the single room occupancy, which are SROs. I don't know if you can purchase them, but I know that at least like the city of Simi Valley has a development that was recently approved sometime last year, and they'll have about 60 units. And so sometimes these single room occupancy developments, they're kind of like micro studios. They're This development, at least that's coming to Simi Valley, is about 400 square feet. So, can you live in 400 square feet? If if that's something you can do, then potentially SROs are something that are ideal for you, especially because they're more affordable than other types of housing that are out there. And some of them come some of them don't have like kitchens or bathrooms. They have like common shared areas, but at least the one that's coming to Simi Valley, that one's going to have like small kitchenette and then its own bathroom. Some people are very low maintenance and don't really need to be, don't really need to have a really large space. and SROs make it affordable.
Amazing. Accessory dwelling unit, or an ADU, additional dwelling unit, accessory dwelling unit. Now, these have to be built specifically on a land, correct? Um,
Yes. And so the way that at least I understand the ADUs are, so they're the accessory dwelling unit ADU. I think a lot of people, or some people who are familiar with them, may know them as like granny flats or in-law apartments. Sometimes they can be both either attached to the home, like a conversion of like your garage, or it can be detached. So it's like a smaller unit in the backyard. I know that at least where we live in Simi Valley, we have a few places that have ADUs. There's actually one that a residence, so it's a single family home, has an ADU, and then they have a junior, a JADU. So they really maximized that backyard that they're probably no longer using. So it's the single family home. Then they have an ADU, a junior ADU, and one location I even saw they have a little like a little like storage space. So like it's like a tiny little spot. So yeah, ADUs are starting to pop up. So they're pretty cool.
Amazing. I know the county of LA did some type of ordinance that was beneficial for homeowners to build ADUs, and or at least the city of LA. And the last year or two, just seen an influx of them in the valley. Definitely a good option again if you're young, if your budget is tighter, or if you're a single person, no pets, no kids, nothing. Something like this is, and these usually do have little bathrooms and little kitchens, right?
Yeah, it's they'll have whether it's one room or two bedroom. They'll have a kitchen. They'll have a bathroom. It's uh like a small home. It's not a tiny home because it's not quite that small, but it is something that's attached to a single family residence.
And so the next couple slides are going to be the multi-residential type of houses. So the first one is a duplex. So that's going to be two doors, two separate homes on the same property. They're usually going to share like same water, like main water line. Um, I think these are fantastic options for mixed families, for people who want to stay close to a family. I lived in one in Palmdale during a period of time when I was out of Simi, and my brother lived in the back when my nephew was a baby. So it was very nice to just go walk over to my brother's house and be with my nephew. That was just fantastic. And we don't see many here in Simi. I know that there is, maybe like a street or two that have them, but these are just, in my idea, or in my mind, absolutely fantastic to see.
Yeah, definitely. And so some that we have seen, or, let us know if you've seen different types of duplexes within Ventura County. But at least in East County, what we've seen is duplexes that are right next to each other. So similar to what you see in the slide. However, there are other areas within Ventura County that have duplexes that are not, like next to each other, but rather there's a bottom unit and then there's a top unit, and so those type of duplexes also help maximize, using responsibly using, the the land that we have left to develop on. But yeah, so those are just other types of housing that is out there.
So the next is a triplex, which is the same but with three. And then I'm just going to skip right to a fourplex. So those are the multi-residential ones, right? Basically.
Yes, generally what they have is they'll have, so like the duplex has two, it's like two residences and like kind of like one unit, and then the triplex will be 3 in 1 unit, and then the fourplex will be, four in one, not like a unit, but like a building. And so of course it's like maximizing, that space, and just having them together as opposed to like a single family home and then another one with a yard and all of that. So it's a good use of our land.
Fantastic. And the last one that I have on the list doesn't mean that this is the only, like, this is where the line stops. I'm sure housing, like, there's container housings, which we forgot about, which are pretty cool. And they've done some projects for, unhoused people or for veterans in different cities, even in California. So, container homes, we see those old shipping yards that are just filled with empty containers, using those as housing. So that's a cool option. So the last one is mixed use development, which would be just amazing to have. To have an area where you can shop and eat, and you know a little park or something in the middle of it all, and then have your apartment just upstairs. Definitely seems like a foreign concept to Simi Valley, considering how everything is here. However, we have so many unused shopping malls or strip malls or areas within the city that are kind of run down and unused and just taking up space that we could use to build up a little bit and bring to life those areas, and also provide housing of some type.
Yeah, absolutely. And like the mixed use is, not just like a good way to use the land that we have. And I say that a lot just because it's not all about single family residencies, but residents, but the mixed use, like the bottom level, essentially what it is a commercial space. So, whether it's stores, whether it's restaurants, whether it's your own business that you have downstairs, and then the floors above that would be places where people can live. And so, not only do you have in like built-in customers into those commercial areas, but it makes neighborhoods a lot more walkable. It's better on our environment just because things are closer. And so it is a really good way, to move forward what housing looks like, as opposed to just the way that we are set up in so many of the cities within Ventura County, that in order to go to the store, in order to even just get something like from the convenience store really quick, it's not accessible from just walking like even a few minutes outside of your home. You have to get in your car, you have to drive to these places, and that's not the best thing for the environment. And it's also just a lot of people complain about congestion and traffic, but we're all getting in our cars. A lot of the people that are complaining that about congestion and traffic are causing congestion, and are in their vehicles causing that traffic as well. So mixed use, is something that right now we especially have to plan on building. But it's something that I don't think is very common. I know that we're getting some aspects of that in Simi Valley. And the reason why we talk about Simi Valley is a lot is because, that's where we live. But if you have other areas within Ventura County that you live in that you're seeing mixed use buildings, please let us know. I think that the live is going to be up. And so hopefully we'll be able to either share links on their pictures, so that we can, also be up to date on other parts of the county. But I know that CME is exploring that. Thousand Oaks, I think one of their mixed use developments is almost done. And from the pictures I saw in the Ventura County Star, it looks pretty cool.
Amazing. So, of course, other housing that, again, we didn't mention apartment buildings, which we're all familiar with those and we see those around. But was there anything else, Rebecca?
Um, there's different types. There's lots of other housing out there, like Cassandra mentioned. There's container homes. There's what low-rise buildings look like, and the purpose of today was just to kind of go over a few of them, and hopefully just give out that little bit of education, so that we start recognizing what are the possibilities for housing and diverse housing, especially because diversifying the type of housing that we currently have addresses a lot of issues that are important to us when we talk about housing. We know the history, or we're starting to learn the history for many of us behind, the push of single family residencies, single family homes, entire cities that are just single family homes, and what that has done in terms of racial inequity for many people in our community. And now the aspect of affordability, it's not affordable for a lot of us, even the workforce employees, or the workforce housing category, or just your everyday employed, to be able to just buy a home, that the single family homes that are being built. So it's important for us to know what type of housing possibilities are out there, and learn about them, and hopefully we can incorporate them into all of our cities within Ventura Accountability, so that we can allow for affordability, and build housing for all income levels.
Amazing. Thank you, everyone who joined. Also, if there's any topics that you'd like to see in future lives that we can cover, quick, is just put them in the comments. We'll be able to check it. I'm hoping this week to talk some other leads into doing one on making public comments, like at Planning Commission. So keep an eye on that. Other than that, thank you very much for your time, and happy Valentine's Day.